Morning, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2020, and I want to bring to you another episode of Spotlight on California Natives. Normally this segment is reserved for large shrubs and trees, but today I want to focus on something much smaller, a small sub-shrub to small shrub, a very rare find. Very rare, narrow, endemic. In other words, it has a very small range of distribution. It is called San Miguel Savory. Clinopodium chandleri is the botanical name of it. Let's go. It's scattered along here. I'm on the San Juan Trail, the trailhead behind Blue Jay Campground, not the trailhead in front of Blue Jay Campground. There are two different San Juan trailheads. I'm in the one behind Blue Jay Campground, but along the San Juan Trail and in Blue Jay Campground and in nearby areas, this very, very rare plant in the mint family grows. This is it right here. Might be hard to get details with this camera, but this is it right here. This is Clinopodium chandleri. This is San Miguel Savory. It used to be known as Satureja, S-A-T-U-R-E-J-A, Satureja chandleri. It's a type of a savory plant in the mint family, the Lamiaceae. It has an extremely sweet minty aroma. It's absolutely wonderful smelling plant. Absolutely wonderful smelling plant. And as you can see here, it's a very small sub-shrub to small shrub. It has a somewhat woody base, and then as you go up the stem, it's not quite as woody. Here's another example right here. So as you can see, it's kind of scattered about here. So you'll see it scattered about underneath stands of coast live oak woodland and mesic chaparral. In other words, mesic and chaparral usually don't quite go together, but you're looking on a north-facing slope. You'll see what I mean. Well, here we go. This is actually closer to the trailhead. Here's another one right here. Kind of a bright green, minty colored leaf. And like I said, the basal stems are a little stronger, maybe semi-woody, and then the upper twigs are less so, and they're quite brittle, as is fairly common in the mint family, the Lamiaceae. And again, the leaves are very small. They're kind of rounded at the base and bluntly pointed at the tip. It's a beautiful plant. Again, it's one of the most delectably fragrant plants, and it is a relative of the sages, the salvias, like this guy here, Salvia apiana, the white sage. So it's a relative of those, and it's usually found at low to moderate elevation. Here we're about 3,300 feet in elevation. Its distribution is very narrow. Like I said, it's an endemic. So you're going to find it scattered maybe here in the central Santa Ana Mountains. I've seen populations of it along this portion of the San Juan Trail, and also at the other San Juan Trail head over at the front of Blue Jay Campground, whereas this is the back of Blue Jay Campground. So, beautiful plant. It has these small little whitish flowers that are fairly typical of the Lamiaceae. They kind of have like a lower lip and an upper top and a little lower lip. It's not in bloom right now, so I can't really show you. But the flowers are much smaller than your sage flowers, like much smaller than even the black sage, which has a very small flower. But Again, beautiful small sub-shrub. It's like I said, go back to its distribution. It's very, very narrowly endemic to this little area here in the central Santa Anas, where, like I said, near Blue Jay Campground. There are populations of it in the campground as well. But you'll also find it scattered in a few spots in San Diego County. In fact, the name San Miguel denotes where it was first collected, I believe in the early 20th century. I want to say around 1904. It was collected on a prominent mountain near, not that far from Chula Vista, called San Miguel Mountain. It's a 2,565 foot summit with radio towers on top. People used to hike up it all the time, but it's been cordoned off as private property. So going up there, you won't be able to find that. So San Miguel Mountain, that's in south central San Diego County, east of Chula Vista, I guess southwest of El Cajon, and that's where the plant was first collected. So it's scattered a bit here and there. Like I said, it does not have a wide distribution, and we're probably, I would say, we're probably at the northern extent. The Santa Ana Mountains seem to have a lot of plants that have their northern range extent basically here. So I'm going to go back to a couple of those plants really quickly, just give you one last look at it. It's a very interesting plant. I've been able to actually order them online, so meaning don't collect seeds in the wild, because it is an endangered plant, or at least, you know, threatened. So I was able to buy it off of Las Pielitas nursery. They were able to ship me a couple. I had them for a little while. I guess maybe the soil was a little too wet and not well enough draining. But yeah, this is it, San Miguel Savory. One of the most exhilaratingly fragrant plants I've ever come across. If you're ever around Blue Jay Campground, Falcon Group Campground, take the Falcon Trail, the San Juan Trail, or even inside the campground itself, you will find populations of it. Cheerful plant. It does make a lovely garden plant, because I've had it in my garden, a little pot garden I had, like a big round pot. I had a mule fat plant growing in there. I had a Palmer sagewort growing in there, so I had some California natives growing in there, and it did okay for a while. It even flowered once or twice. But again, you want to give it well draining soil. So again, mint family, Lamiaceae, sub-shrub, semi-woody at the base, maybe lightly woody, little tiny white flowers, tiny, extremely fragrant leaves, sometimes with a rounded base and sometimes a slight point in the apical portion of the leaf. Delightful plant. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on it, I'm pretty sure it probably has had some medicinal use, but medicinal or maybe even culinary. I don't know the specifics about that, so I can't really say for sure. But delightful plant. And if you're on the San Juan Trail, look out for it. It's one of quite a few species that are not very common here to Southern California. You will find here in the central Santa Ana Mountains. So I really hope you enjoyed and got something interesting out of that video. I do appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for another episode of Spotlight on Trees or Spotlight on California Natives. It's all under the same umbrella, California native plants, which California native plants are what interest me the most. I live here, and I love these plants. See you on the next episode, hopefully soon.